Howdy y'all, thank you for joining me today for this unboxing of Marvel Champions the card game, the Civil War expansion. This is one of the mini scenarios and one that I know people are looking forward to. And we can see here that it's going to have 2 decks like the hero packs that come with it. And of course we can see already some of the villains we're going to be fighting, which makes sense for the Civil War. And I'll admit, I am looking forward to seeing what Tigra does. I have not seen any of the spoilers or anything, so this is going to be something new for me. But I am looking forward to Tigra. She's one of my favorite characters. Hulkling, don't really know much about him. I just know if it's better than regular Hulk, then that should be good, right? But let's get right into it because I'm sure that's what you want to see. So there was no plastic wrap on these. There's just 2 stickers. Oh, and actually 4 stickers. Sorry, I was about to say I pre-cut them, but then apparently I missed 2 stickers. All right. So as we see here, you open it up, you get your book, which is going, and then we're going to have 1, 2, 4 packs of cards in there. Most likely these are the 2 decks, which we can kind of see them, and then the rest are going to be the scenario stuff. And we'll go through each of these cards and zoom in and get a closer look at all of them. But let's take a look at the book. I'm not going to go too deep into it. That way you don't have to see spoilers, just in case you are more into the spoilers thing or do not want to know much about the spoilers. But this is going to basically give us a competitive mode, which I guess without looking at this, my guess is just each of y'all are going to have a villain, and it's who can knock out the villain first. Yeah, in this case, they're talking about a leader, so that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're going to take a turn, and then the other player will take a turn, and then their villain will go, and your villain will go, or vice versa. But it's kind of what it looks like here. Pretty simple. Yep, and whichever one defeats their leader first. So that's what I kind of figured, is they'd have to do something like that. So we can see here. Kind of cool. They mention right here, custom scenario expansion. So it lets you know that this is not like the other ones where it's interconnected scenarios and campaign mode. Instead, it's going to have 4 scenarios that you'll just go through. And then it even lets you know how you can go and custom and make your own scenarios so that you can do your own personal Civil War or how it's going to go, you know. Now, the only thing that does worry me, and I was told by my rep at Asmodee that doesn't foresee it going into this, but I was worried that they push this competitive mode, that if they do, it'll change the way they design the cards and they'll start making it more for competitive mode, which I kind of hope they don't. I mean, while it'd be cool to do that from time to time, I really do enjoy the cooperative nature of this game. So while it's cool to be able to do a competitive mode and play, I don't want to see the cards shift to where they start doing more of making it meta decks and stuff, which already are kind of there for the co-op mode, but it just, to me, it just defeats the nature of what I enjoy about this game so much. Now, for some people, that might be what they want, and hey, if that's what you want, cool. It looks like they're trying to appease multiple people. I just worry more about that it goes too deep in making sure that the cards can be used competitively instead of working on the cooperative nature. So that's one of my worries that it comes to. And this just goes through all that, what content, how you're going to do it. Here's how the explanation of how to create your custom scenario for the Civil War. Oh, it's even got a random one. So like I said, we'll definitely, I'll have to go through all that. And I'll have to read through this because it talks about for solo. Because what I like to do whenever they come out with one of these expansions, if you're new to the channel, is I like to, all the decks, including the 2 that came with this, I like to take them and put them up against the villain or the first villain from one of these things. But it might change since this one is more constructed to be a competitive head-to-head. So I might have to relook at that and see if I can still do that solo with the first thing in here, which I would assume I still could. It'd just be I'm only going against one leader or something. But I'll go through that and, well, let me go through it now. Yeah, so you can even still play this cooperatively, or you can do it competitively, and the solo is going to work the same. It's just they let you know the keywords. This, when it says enemy leader, they're talking about the villain. When they're saying enemy team, you know, and so forth. So it seems pretty much straightforward and the same on that. And here's where they show the pre-constructed registration scenarios, the resistance scenarios. So you can play through as the registration, or you can play through as the resistance. And then here's the new key terms, just in case, you know, you don't own all the expansions or you hit something. These are the ones that are just going to be needed for sure with this scenario in mind, or these scenarios in mind. And it looks like we have a new type of card back that basically lets you know it can't go into the other decks and stuff. And then we see the beginning of the scenario. And like I said, I'm not going to go any further on this one. Well, I'll turn the pages, show the first one, which we're going to see. I guess we're going to see the scenarios in order anyways, the more I think of it, just because when I put the cards in order, it's going to put them in order. But actually, no, yeah, there's no set thing. Yeah, so cool. Oh, I forgot these are in the back of the book. I usually like to also try to guess which each deck's going to be. I will admit, Tigra, I was thinking aggression anyways. I was not guessing Hulkling as protection, because I was thinking Tigra would be aggression, but then I was like, well, like I said, I don't know much about Hulkling, so I was like, well, Hulkling is Hulk, so that should be aggression too. So there's no way they're going to have double aggression, so I was trying to think of all these other things. And then really what I had come up with was Tigra would probably be aggression, and best I could think of was Hulkling being justice in some weird way. But like I said, not knowing much about the character, didn't really know anything about that. But shows here what they are. So we're going to already see aggression and protection, which will be cool. So we see some new aggression cards and some new protection cards. And then some frequently asked questions. So end up going through that whole book. Wasn't expecting to, but we did it anyways. All right, let me get zoomed in, and I will take us through the decks and get these in order so we can see all the new cards. And actually, I probably, now looking at that book, it probably makes more sense. These are the decks, the hero decks, and then one of these is resistance, and one of them's the registration. So, cool. Well, let me get these opened and zoomed in. Okay, well, hopefully the lighting is correct on this. Sorry, I know I'm way out of practice on this. I really do need to get my studio set back up. It's the reason the channel hasn't been getting much, but I'm not going to go in too much belabor on that because you're here to watch this and see this. All right, I'm just going with Hulkling first because that's the order I opened them up in. So, only I'm really talking about here is out of these two decks, like I said, since Tigra's one of my favorite characters, I'm looking forward to playing her, even though she is not one of my styles, aggression. But, if you're new to this channel, what I like to do is take these decks and play them solo up against, like I said, we'll probably do it one of the scenarios here, probably be Iron Man. And you know what, I might trade it up. Do one Iron Man and do one Captain America and just randomize it. But if this is the norm, normally when they release these, whichever one I'm looking forward to is the one that, like, I ain't going to say I've never enjoyed playing a deck before. I want to say there's only one, but I could be wrong. But if the norm is right, when they usually release two of these, the one I'm not looking forward to is the deck I end up enjoying the most, and the one I am looking forward to, I still enjoy playing, but not really enjoy. But long story short, let's get right into it. Right off the bat here, we have Hulkling. We can see here he's got a hand size of 5 and hit points 13. I mean, good hit points, what you would expect from like a Hulk-like character. Let's start it on the alter ego side. So we got... And like I said, I don't know much about this character, so this is going to be a lot to me. Teddy Altman here. He's got a 4 recovery. Kree scroll. See? Okay. You cannot have more than one shapeshift upgrade in play. All right. So it looks like he's going to be doing some type of shapeshifting thing. Shape changer action. Search your deck and discard pile for a shapeshift upgrade and add it to your hand. Okay. Do it once per round. And then we go into... Hulkling is a 1 thwart, 1 attack, 1 defense. So I'm assuming the shapeshifts give him additional boosts because these are terrible stats. Avenger, so you can make your Avenger deck. Kree scroll. Chosen shape, forced response. After a shapeshift upgrade enters play under your control, discard each other shapeshift upgrade you control and ready Hulkling. Okay, I can see that as good and bad. So it looks like it's kind of what I'm assuming is going to be. Yeah, like I said, you're going to do the upgrades. You're going to get better stats or abilities, but you can only have one in play at a time. But the nice thing is you get to ready all the time. So this is kind of giving me like a Storm deck play wise, where it's like you're going to constantly be shifting these things and having some like world effect, in this case, not really world, but hero effect. And then the nice thing is you get to ready. So, I mean, if you can time those shapeshifts right, I'm assuming you're going to be able to do like a thwart, ready your shift, ready yourself, do an attack, you know. So I can see some cool stuff there for sure. We're going to put this to the side to where we can constantly see his stats still. And we'll see how that effect goes. All right. Next, we're going to see his 15 cards. They're unique to his deck, and just like in most of these decks, there's only a few I've seen that doesn't do it, we have an ally that comes unique into the deck. And here we have Wiccan, 2-cost ally for 2 hit points. That's typical on these for the ones that come with these. 2 thwart, 1 attack. Cool. Avenger, Mystic. As a response, after you play Wiccan from your hand, search your deck and discard pile for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand. Most likely your shapeshift, so I think that's kind of cool, but cool. Altman Residence, so your home. 1-cost support location, alter ego action, exhaust Altman Residence to heal 2 damage from Teddy Altman and shuffle 1 Hulkling card from your discard pile into your deck. So either your shapeshifts or your... I guess I should have paid attention to that. Does that only let you go in your deck? And discard pile. So you can go get your shapeshifts from your discard pile. So most likely the events that let you shapeshift. Well, we'll see when we see the shapeshifts. But just like anything, these alter ego cards, in my opinion, are always really strong and really good. Winged Shape. All right, so here's our first shapeshift. 2-cost upgrade. Shapeshift. Hulkling gets +1 to every stat, thwart, attack, and defense, and gains the aerial trait, so flying. Hero response, after you play an event, exhaust Winged Shape to remove 2 threat from a scheme. So this one's giving you, it's not what I was thinking where it's only going to give 1, maybe some others do. This one gives it to all of them, but, well, it might just be this one does it. But I mean, you want to keep this in play because you play an event, and you get to remove threat from a scheme. So this is how he removes threat. Seems cool. Here's another upgrade. 2-cost upgrade. Shapeshift. Hulk Shape. All right. Yep. +2 attack, +1 defense. Makes sense. Hero response. After you play an event, exhaust Hulk Shape to deal 2 damage. So thwart our scheme and damage. And I mean, this one is definitely if you're going to go into the attacking mode. 2-cost upgrade. Shapeshift. Armored Shape. Hulkling gets +1 attack and +2 defense and gains Retaliate 1. Hero response, after you play an event, exhaust Armored Shape to heal 2 damage from Hulkling. Man, I'm liking them so far. 2-cost upgrade, Imitation Shape. Shapeshift, Hulkling gets +2 thwart, so here's the pluses to thwart. Forced Interrupt, when an enemy would attack you, it schemes instead. Hero response, after you play an event, exhaust Imitation Shape to draw a card. Okay. Alright, so those seem to be the shapeshifts. So these are the 4 things that we can go get from our discard or deck when they're in alter ego form. We're going to have 1 in play at a time. Now let's see how that all ties together. 3-cost upgrade, Alien Physiology, Superpower. As a resource, exhaust Alien Physiology to regenerate a wild resource. 2 wild resources instead of paying for a Hulkling card, which means you get to play your shapeshifts for free. So that seems pretty good. Shapeshifter Strike, 2-cost event, attack superpower. So here's one of the events. A hero action attack, deal 5 damage to an enemy, and ready your shapeshift upgrade. All right, so it's not what I was thinking where it's going to let you go get them, because you can only go get those in alter ego form. This is actually going to let you sit there and keep getting these back when we were looking at the alter ego thing at least. So you're doing damage, which is also probably going to trigger your shapeshifts because, yeah, after you play an event. So that's really what it's going to be doing now to think of it. And we have 3 of these shapeshift strikes. Pretty good. Armored defense, 1-cost event, defense, superpower, hero interrupt, defense. When an enemy attacks, deal damage to it equal to your defense. After this attack, give Hulkling a tough status card. I mean, it says enemy, and the nice thing is, several things I like about this card. So the nice thing is, it says enemy, so like if it's a minion, most likely you're going to knock out the minion. So it's because it says when an enemy attacks. So remember, interrupts take, or if you don't know, sorry, interrupts take place before. It's like it sees ahead of time. So that means they're attacking, you get to do damage first. So if it's a minion, you might finish them off and you get a tough status card. Now if it's a villain, most likely you're not going to finish them off unless they're low on hit points, but you still get to attack first and get a tough status card right before something that you're not going to knock out is about to attack you. So then it's like you're not going to take damage during it. And then plus, you're also coming off your hero phase, or the hero phase where you readied your shapeshift. So now that means you're going to get to trigger your shapeshift because you're going to most likely be in, you have to be in hero form anyway. So you're going to trigger your hero response off your shapeshift, which means you're going to get to do more stuff. So yeah, I like this a lot. I can already tell this is probably my style protection deck. Of course, we haven't seen what the actual deck's doing. We're just looking at what his 15 cards do. So yeah, I like it. I'm about to say we haven't seen the threat one yet. So here it is. Impersonation, 2-cost event, superpower thwart. As a hero action thwart, remove 4 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat from that scheme, you may change to alter ego form. So this is a way of getting you a free form shift, because you could do this, remove some threat, switch to your alter ego form, go get a shape shift if you don't already have one, or go get one to where you want to switch it to, and then now use your 1 free per round or per hero phase to flip back to hero form and do some more stuff. And if you're playing the shapeshift, which you're most likely going to do anyways, you're going to get to ready anyway. So you could literally be in hero form, attack, do whatever you're going to do, attack, thwart, play this, thwart some more, flip the alter ego form, go get you a shapeshift, or you could even hold it for a recovery so that you could recover some hit points, and then and then switch back to hero form, do some stuff. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, when you're able to do that with Colossus, I just know this is a good one here. All right, we got Shapeshifter here, 0-cost event. So a 0-cost event is going to trigger your other stuff. Hero action, search your deck and discard pile for a shapeshift upgrade and add it to your hand. So it's let you do this so you can stay in hero form and not have to go to alter ego form, or if you're stuck in alter ego form. But it's also another way I can see, like, doing everything I just mentioned in that other thing, and then also playing this, getting you another shapeshift card, and if you have enough resources, be able to do again because you're going to ready and stuff. Yeah, good card, good card. All right, so that's his 15 cards. So next we're going to see his protection cards, and right off the bat we usually see a new ally that gets added, and here's a new protection ally, Patriot, and it's a 3-cost ally for 3 hit points with 1 thwart, 2 attack, an Avenger. As a response, after you engage a minion, give Patriot a tough status card. So it lets you engage a minion. He's going to get the tough status, so then you can engage the minion, but now he's got the tough status to where you can basically attack with him. Engage a minion. Now that you've engaged a minion, now he's going to get a tough status card. You're going to do all your stuff, maybe all the other combos, and then boom, ready yourself at the end of the hero phase, and then the villain attacks, have Patriot take the hit, which will be taken away with the tough status. So, I mean, yeah, good card, 3/3, and do some good attack. All right, this is a reprint. We basically saw it in the Doctor Strange deck. Now we're just seeing another reprint of it, since that Doctor Strange deck is out of print and hard to get. Here's Brother Voodoo, 3-cost, 3 hit points, ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack, with 2 consequence stars on the thwart. Avenger Mystic. As a response, after Brother Voodoo enters play, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an event card and add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. I will admit, I never really liked this card, but with this deck, since the events are so crucial, I can see this being a little bit better. I just don't like the 2 consequence stars on the thwart, but being able to go search, I mean, a tutor's a tutor. That's going to be good either way, so I mean. Hidden Base, 2-cost support location, uses 3 stronghold counters as an alter ego response. After you change form, exhaust Hidden Base and remove 1 stronghold counter from it. Give your identity a tough status card. I don't think that's a reprint. That's pretty good, actually. I like it. I like it because you get that tough status card. That's pretty good. I like it. I was about to say, oh yeah, I should have seen it's unique. Because I was about to say, I like it, but I don't know if I like 3 of them in a deck. But yeah, it don't have 3 of them, so that's cool. Another reprint, and actually one I want a reprint of, like, because I thought about buying an extra, I think it was Doctor Strange deck. I thought about buying a deck just to get another one of these for one of my other protection decks so I didn't have to take it from deck to deck, which I don't like to do. So yeah, the Night Nurse. 1 cost support persona, uses 3 medical counters as an action, exhaust the Night Nurse and remove 1 medical counter from her. Heal 1 damage from a hero and discard 1 status card from it. I mean, if it was just 1 hit point, to me, meh. I mean, for 1, yeah, it's still good. But I mean, get rid of a status, so that lets you get rid of stuns and confuses. I mean, yeah, I like it. And you can even do it on other heroes if you're playing multiplayer. No, like I said, I really wanted another one of these, so it was pretty sure in Doctor Strange deck, so I was kind of looking at getting it, another one for other cards in there too, but I can't remember what deck it was, but I was definitely looking at it in the past to get another one. All right, Excelsior here. 1 cost upgrade, Kree Scroll weapon, restricted, max 2 restricted cards per player. As a response, after your hero defends against an enemy attack, spend a energy resource, deal 2 damage to an enemy. I mean, it's cool. For 1, and you think about it, especially if you're playing a protection deck, I can actually, I mean, I can think of some of my protection decks, and I don't know, it was only one of them. Let's say, I can think of some of my protection decks where it'd be cool to throw multiple in, but this is the only one. But yeah, I'd just throw it into the one that has the most energy resources so I can make sure I could use it as much as possible. So I mean, it sounds cool for sure. Defensive conditioning. Man, there's a lot of just 1 uniques in this deck. Defensive conditioning, 2 cost upgrade condition, play under any player's control, max 1 per player. You get +3 hit points, your hero gets +1 defense. Yeah, I like it. Like I said, I don't know if I like 3 of them, but only because, man, I want to spread this out in multiple decks. I mean, because you're getting, most of your protection decks, you're getting, well, almost all your protection decks, you should want a higher defense. I mean, you always want a higher defense in a lot of them. But you want that higher defense, and it gives you hit points, and it's only 2. Yeah, I can already tell, and I can tell there's 3 of them because it's not unique, and usually when they give you a new card, they give you 3 of them. I can already see, I'm probably spreading this out amongst several of my decks. I like it. I could do this all day. 1 cost event defense, hero interrupt defense. When an enemy attacks, declare your hero as a defender without exhausting them. I like that one too, because now you can do multiple defenses in the same villain phase, especially if you're someone like Cap, or you got those decks where you're just doing a lot of extra defenses. Now you're not exhausting either. No, I like this. This is really good. I mean, I would say I wish it was 0, but then that would just make it busted. Yeah, it's got to make you at least pay something. But, yep, good. Taunt, 1 cost event. Tactic, hero action. The villain attacks you. Other characters cannot defend against this attack. Draw 3 cards. I just hesitated on that one because I think that's a reprint. I could be wrong, and I'm thinking of something else, but this is definitely a reprint because I play with this in several of my decks. And then if you have access to the first set of promos that they released for Marvel Champions, they got the full art of this one. So that's the reason I know this is definitely a reprint, but I use it in my decks. Because I mean, 3 cost event, tackle, attack, hero action, attack, stun an enemy. If you pay for this card using physical resource, I think it is, strength. Like I said, I always get those confused because I play a lot of legendary also. Deal 3 damage to that enemy. Yeah, I mean, it's good enough. It's a stun, and most likely you can make sure you have that physical. So now it's a stun with 3 damage for 3. Yeah, I like it. It's good. Cuts both ways. 0 cost event defense. Hero interrupt defense. When an enemy attacks, you gain retaliate 1 until the end of the phase. So I like that it's only 0 because a retaliate 1, it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's a waste of space in deck because retaliate can be really good, especially in certain situations like, oh, well, I can't really attack this guy because they got retaliate or whatever. So I mean, I like that it's only 0 cost because then that makes it more viable in my decks, and definitely against decks where there's a lot of minions or a lot of things attacking you, or just yeah, I like this card. I don't like it as 3 of in a deck, but they're giving you 3 so I can spread it out amongst decks if I really, really wanted to. Preservation here. Resource, yeah, this is a reprint. Hero response, after you spin the card, heal 1 damage from your hero. Yep. All right, so we get into the basics, and just like typically with the basics, we see a new basic ally. It's a 2-cost ally for 3 hit points. That seems good. What's the downfall on that? 1 thwart with something special, 1 attack with something special, or it's going to have something special. It's an Avenger. Interrupt. When Iron Lad uses a basic power, exhaust another Avenger ally you control. Add that ally's matching power to Iron Lad's power for this use. That's really good, actually. I mean, because you're going to get 3 attacks, and that's, I mean, no matter what, even if you're paying 2 for 3, that's still just better 2 for 3 thwart or 2 for 3 attack. But if you have another ally, granted, it's got to be an Avenger ally, but if you have another ally and they already are about to be KO'd because they're hit points, so you don't want them to take consequence damage, well, now they just exhaust with him and they're not getting KO'd. You have someone that can just take a hit, and they're adding their attack or thwart to him. Yeah, I like this card. This is a good card. Assess the situation. This is a reprint 0-cost event. Tactic. As an action, you get +1 hand size until the end of the phase. Maybe we'll see. Maybe this will change my mind, but I am not a fan of this card. I mean, +1 hand size until the end of the phase. Yeah, it lets you draw an extra card. Yeah, it lets you draw an extra card. So I guess you're playing 0 cost. I mean, I never thought of it that way. I guess you're paying 0 just to draw an extra card, and but the thing I never liked about it was like, well, man, I'm just going through my deck more. But I guess if you're cycling through your deck more, or those times when you just need that little bit of extra, or like decks that you want to cycle through your deck a lot more. So I can see it in those situations I just thought of. So cool. So that's the whole deck. So now we get to the obligation here that has to be put into the deck, and we got complicated lineage, and this is where, okay, I guess I can see it. If those are his parents, yeah, this is cool. Obligation, give the Teddy Altman player. You may flip to alter ego form. Choose exhaust Teddy Altman to remove complicated lineage from the game. Or discard each shapeshift upgrade you control to discard this card. So you have to get rid of your shapeshift or exhaust yourself, which most likely you're going to exhaust yourself, because if you can just play another shapeshift card, do some combos. But yep, definitely slows you down. And we see a minion here, which is kind of one of my I know one of my players is going to like it, because this actually definitely hints at the Fantastic Four thing. But one of my favorites when I was a kid, Super Scroll minion, 1 scheme, 1 attack, 5 hit points, something special in the attack. As a force to interrupt, when Super Scroll attacks you, discard the top card of your deck if that card's printed resource has, and basically making it to where Super Scroll is either going to do +2 attack for this attack, or discard a card from your hand, or give Super Scroll a tough status card, or discard an upgrade you control, which is going to be your shapeshifts in this case. So, all right, scroll business. Here's the side scheme for it. Super Scroll was sent to abduct Hulkling after his true heritage was revealed. Forced response: after any number of cards are discarded from the top of a player's deck, place those cards face down under this scheme. Man, that can wreck. Like, I can just think of, not seeing this deck play, I just don't know how it would affect it too much, but I can definitely see some decks that if you're co-oping with them, they're going to get wrecked. Like, what, Domino, Bishop, yeah. All right, and then we got Fantastic Powers, Superpower, +1 scheme, +1 attack. Attached minion gets +3 hit points and gains Retaliate 1. Where that other card would come in handy, what I was talking about. When revealed, find Super Scroll, put him into play, engage with you, and attach Fantastic Powers to him. If you are in hero form, Super Scroll attacks you. And then you're coming with me. Treachery. When revealed, alter ego. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Place 1 threat on the main scheme for each different resource icon on the discarded cards. When revealed, hero form. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Take 1 damage for each different resource icon on the discarded cards. So once again, I didn't see anything with multiple resources, so to me, oh, there's something there. Imitation shape. So your shapeshifts have multiple, so that's kind of annoying, especially with him. But it makes sense now looking, like I said, didn't know much about the character. Looking at the character now, makes sense with the shapeshift, super scroll, sitting after him. Yep, I like it. Yep. We'll see how this deck plays out. And like I said, the way I do on the solo is playing this unchanged. So we'll definitely see how that deck plays out. All right, we'll try to see if we can go through this one faster. I know this is taking too long, but here we go. We're going to start with Tigra. All right. I am looking forward to this. Here we go. Greer Nelson. We got 3 recovery. Police, undercover work, action, search your deck and discard pile for a copy of Hunted and add it to your hand. So we're going to have to remember to look for Hunted. Search your deck and discard pile. Next thing, she's going to have some cards. Yeah. Kind of like where you're going to be able to, was it like, well, Valkyrie would do like, put something on someone. So she's probably going to have, yeah, multiple copies of Hunted, and you're probably going to get some bonuses or benefits for going against someone who's hunted. And then we have the hero form here. Oh, I didn't talk about her. Hand size 5, hit points 10. Hand size 6, hit points 10. So she's right up the average. And I did not pay attention to Hulkling. I mean, I know I showed his. So he's actually got a smaller hand size. We said more hit points, but he's got a smaller hand size than normal because he goes to 5 where it's normally 6. But he's 5'5". So. Because it makes sense he's going to be able to go draw another card. So I want to make sure they're not making the alter ego form too much. But hers is just right down the middle. Just right down the median. But here we go. 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 defense. Interesting choice. Each minion with a copy of Hunted attached loses guard. That can be pretty handy, man. If you have a Hunted, especially if Hunted's cheap, like 1 or 0. And that last time when you want to just go knock something out, throw the Hunted on a guard because that guard's not allowing you to do it. Yeah, I like it. On the hunt, as a response after the player phase begins, draw 1 card for each minion engaged with you to a maximum of 3. Getting some Thor vibes here. As far as like Thor decks. All right, well, let's see what that Hunted's all about. All right, we're going to see her 15 cards. So here we go. Another favorite of mine, Moon Knight. 1 cost ally with 3 hit points. And 2/2. That seems really good. He's an Avenger. Forced response. After Moon Knight enters play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion. And put it into play, engage with you, stun and confuse that minion. So that's why he's so cheap, because you're going to have to go get a minion. Now, granted, they're going to come in stunned and confused. I guess unless you had hit a minion that's got like steady or something, but that negates all that. But that's why he's so cheap. But as we saw here, you kind of want minions on you, so that's going to get you at least 1 more card draw if they're still around in the next phase. So, seems good. All right, we've got Precinct Headquarters here. 2 cost support. Yep, I was about to say it's part of her alter ego. It is. Location, alter ego action, exhaust Precinct Headquarters. Remove 1 threat from a scheme. Remove 1 additional threat for each minion engaged with you. Man, you can clean up big on Ultron. Apparently cops are really good against Ultron, I guess. 2 cost upgrade. Cat's Head Amulet. Artifact item. As a resource, exhaust Cat's Head Amulet. Generate a physical resource for each minion engaged with you to a maximum of 3. So, once again, they're counting on you having a bunch of minions on you. So, if you can just keep the minions either stunned or... I mean, you got a 3 defense, but you can only defend... Unless you have a way to defend multiple times without exhausting. Be cool to power these up. We'll see how her deck works. I'm assuming there's got to be something there. Or something that can allow her to knock out multiple minions. Otherwise, you would get overwhelmed. 1 cost upgrade, Sharp Claws. As a weapon, interrupt. When you make a basic attack, exhaust Sharp Claws. Tigra gets +1 attack for this attack. Choose this attack gains overkill, or this attack gains piercing. I like that it lets you choose, so that if they don't have toughness, well, you can at least do overkill, so you might be able to go through a minion. So like I said, ways to take care of minions, so you can hit a minion, maybe do some extra damage to the villain also. Maybe even find ways to get around retaliate because of that. And then if something has toughness, you at least get piercing and you get to go straight through. Yep, seems good. I'm about to say she should have 2 claws, so she's got 2 hands. 1 cost to upgrade cat-like reflexes. As a superpower, Hero Interrupt. When you would take any amount of damage, discard cat-like reflexes. Prevent 3 of that damage. You may confuse a minion engaged with you. So you let 1 minion attack you, probably your biggest one. Or even if you let the villain and prevent 3 of its damage. And then you also get to confuse them. Oh, you may confuse a minion. So they're still going to get to attack you. So I was just thinking out of the box. But it does make where you can go to Alter Ego and maybe do some recovery. So we got 2 Cali. All right, here's the hunted we're looking for. 0 cost upgrade. All right. It's got a star on there. Condition, as an additional cost to play this upgrade, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and put it into play engaged with you. Attach hunted to that minion and stun it. So once again, put minions on you that are going to let you draw more cards, which is going to let you do some stuff. And why it's cheap. What do you get for that? Because, so you can build these up for 1 big turn. I can actually see some power behind this, because you build up for a big turn and then attack your minion, knock them out, ready, attack your minion. Just take them all out and then have all your big old hand of cards or whatever to do a bunch. I'm assuming 3, yeah, because they give you too many hunteds, it'd just be kind of a waste, because odds you having so many different minions or you may even have decks that don't even have that many minions. So here we go. 4 cost event, Tooth and Claw, attack superpower. Reduce the cost to play this event by 1 for each minion engaged with you. So it could be cheap. Hero action attack, deal 4 damage to an enemy, deal 4 damage to an enemy. So once again, help you take out multiple minions, or even, if you think about it, you got 3 minions on you. There was a way to get rid of guard. Yeah, so they don't have guard if they got hunted on them. So you attack the villain for 8 basically, and then take out all the minions, and then attack him again. So I could definitely see this is a really good card. And you get 3 of them. 3 that could do possibly 8 damage, or just 4 and 4. I mean, they're doing 8 damage either way. It's just 4 and 4. Yeah, no, I like it. It's good. So maybe that's to make me feel a little bit better about this deck. Like I said, just not my style, but feeling a little bit better now. 2 cost event, Feline Senses, Superpower Thwart, Hero Action Thwart. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat from that scheme, stun a minion. Okay, so they can't attack you back. All right, that's all for 15 cards. And yep, should have expected this would be in there. We're going to see, just like I said, new Aggression Ally. I love the Aggression Ally, so let's see what this one does. I just feel like the Aggression Allies give you so much bang for their buck. But here we go. 3 costs for 3 hit points. 1 thwart. 2 attack with something special. He's an Avenger. As an interrupt, when 2-Gun Kid makes a basic attack, choose 2 enemies instead of 1 and resolve this attack against each of them. So he gets to attack 2 minions. Once again, take out multiple minions. Yeah, no. It's cool. Because then, well, I was about to say, because then you could have him attack, which is going to ready her, but then if you're knocking out 2 minions, you're just wasting it. But he can weaken minions. Yeah, he can weaken them so she can finish them off if they're a bigger one. Yeah, I like it. It's good. All right, this is a reprint. I'm pretty sure I got it in one of my decks. If I remember right, I didn't like something about it. Yeah, it just only targets minions, but that's what this deck's about. So 2 cost ally for 2 hit points, 1 thwart, 2 attack. As a response, after you play Spider-Girl from your hand, stun and confuse a minion. So it sucks that it's only minion, but we were just talking about it. If you can keep those minions stun locked or confused so that you can do so much other stuff and keep them on you for a while and don't care, seems good, because you're just going to make your cards cheaper and you're going to be doing more powerful stuff. I like it. Air cover, 1 cost support. Tech uses 2 fuel counters, max 1 per player. As a response, after minion enters play, exhaust this card and remove 1 fuel counter from it. Search your deck and discard pile for a tactic upgrade that can be attached to that minion and add it to your hand. So I'm assuming we're going to see some tactics here. And I think Cyclops has some aggression tactics. might be looking at. All right, we got a 3-cost upgrade. Aggressive conditioning as a condition. Play under any player's control. Max 1 per player. Get +3 hit points and +1 attack. I was about to say I like it better than the one that just says +1 attack, but the +1 attack is to all your guys. So, no, I like it. Because you can also throw it on another character. Yeah. So you can throw it on any character to give them extra attack. So, worth having 1 or 2 in the deck, or just for either putting it on yourself or throwing it on someone else, which can also give her a 3 attack, which is good, and some extra hit points. Yeah, I like it, especially if she's got to be able to absorb some hits maybe if you don't get the right timing on stuff. 0-cost upgrade, suppressing fire as a tactic. Here's a tactic. And it can attach to a minion, max 1 per minion. As a hero interrupt, when you attack and defeat attached minion, heal 2 damage from your hero. Yep, I like it. Especially because it's 0, so that you play that card, you get it for free. Or if you just drew this into your hand, throw it on a hero, on a minion you're about to knock out anyways, and you get a little bit of healing out of it. Yeah, it seems good. This is a reprint. Pretty sure in a Rocket Raccoon deck. I may be wrong. It may have been Venom. I don't know. Definitely during the Guardians cycle. So 0-cost event, bring it. Max 1 per phase. Hero action, draw 1 card for each minion engaged with you. So I mean, once again, powering that up for a huge turn that you can just go, okay, now let's knock out all the minions and do a lot of stuff. Coup de Grace. 2-cost event, attack, hero action attack, defeat a non-elite minion with an upgrade attached. Ignore any when defeat abilities on that minion. So this is really good. But I don't like it. Once again, if you watch my channel, you know I just don't like... I'm Toolbox. I don't like a lot of cards that just have a lot of restrictions. And my problem with these restrictions are non-elite and only minions. And I get it. You can't just knock out the villain. I'm not trying to say that. It's just... Now, as I say that, the one good thing I like about it is the when defeated abilities. There are several villains I could think of, or not villains, but minions I could think of that have a when defeated that, man, that sucks. Like, oh, throw some thread on or something like. So, as I say that, I do like it. It's just, I just don't like conditional cards. Savage Strike, 3-cost event, skill, hero, or interrupt. When you make a basic attack, you get +6 attack for this attack. Okay, it's an event. I don't know why. For some reason, I saw skill. I think I was thinking of Psylocke. Because I was thinking skills like upgrade. I mean, you just have a permanent +6 attack. But I mean, yeah, you're paying 3 for 6. Actually, you're paying 3 for 8. So yeah, and that's just with her. I can even think of if someone got like a 1 attack. You're paying 3 for a 7 attack with piercing. Now, granted, 3's a lot, but still, that's good. Like especially in this deck where we already saw she has 3 + 8, or 3 that do 8 damage all around. So here's another one where she's going to be doing, and there's going to be 3 of them in the deck. So this sounds like if you just draw the right resources, you're going to melt through people. I like it. Especially we were talking about setting up those big turns where you're going to have a lot of cards in hand. So now maybe you play 2 of these on a turn. So 8/8. That's most likely going to knock out a villain. Really good. Audacity. Max 1 per deck. Hero response. After you spin this card, deal 1 damage to the villain. So just pinging them while using it. All right, we get into the basics here. 3-cost ally, 3 hit points. 2 thwart, 2 attack with 2 consequence stars on each. This better be really good. Play only if you have the Avenger trait. I mean, this is Hank Pym. Response, after Yellow Jacket enters play, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an upgrade and add it to your hand. What were the upgrades she had? I mean, I'm assuming... I'm not going to say it's bad. It's good. I get it. It's a tutor card, so that's why they do it. And you're going to, especially in this deck, there's a lot of upgrades in there. So you're going to be able to go get an upgrade, or most likely for your character, this is going to excel them to go get your good cards from your deck. So yeah, I could see it. Yeah. We'll like to see more, but it's cool. All right, we're going to see, new art for the energy, genius, and strength. Guess I could stop on those, let you get a look at them so you can see the new artworks. So pretty cool. All right, that's the deck. Let's get into the obligation. In too deep, give to the Greer Nelson player. You may flip to alter ego form. Choose exhaust Greer Nelson, remove in too deep from the game, or each minion engaged with you activates against you. If no minions activate this way, in too deep gains surge and discard this card. So that you're building up this. If this hits at the wrong time, could be bad for you. And then we got the Hood as her Nemesis. We have the 1 scheme, 1 attack, 4 hit points. Steady, criminal, steady, and villainous. Forced response. After the Hood attacks, place 1 threat on the criminal underworld side scheme. Okay. And then we see criminal underworld. And actually, seeing this just reminded me, I think I've noticed also, I'm getting a little bit more to where I'm liking the cards that say non-elite minion. Whereas I just hated them before. It was because there for a time period, we were seeing almost every minion was elite. So at a certain point, it's like, cool, I put this card in there, it's never going to get used. I'm starting to notice more minions not elite, which makes those cards better. So that's the reason they're coming around more to where I'm liking them more. It's just, if you play with everything like I do, what they call it the legacy format now, so it's just going to, just make it to where cards like that just become less useful because you're going to hit so many elite minions most likely. But I am starting to see less elites. So anyways, criminal underworld side scheme. The Hood has gathered the desperate elements of the criminal underworld together in one unified gang. Each criminal minion cannot take damage. Ugh. Get rid of that, because there's that criminal. And if you get the right, if he comes out at the wrong time during the wrong scenario, villains and stuff, yeah. The Hood's mantle, +1 scheme, +1 attack, attached to the Hood, otherwise attached to the villain. Hero response, after you make a basic attack against attached enemy, spend energy and physical resources, discard this card. As a boost, you attach to the Hood, otherwise attached to the villain. So as a boost, just getting attached is annoying. Oh, we're going to see some more criminal minions right here. Madam Mask, 2 scheme, 1 attack, 3 hit points. Criminal, when revealed, place 2 threat on the criminal underworld side scheme. Otherwise, find criminal underworld and reveal it. Place 2 threat on the criminal underworld side scheme. Otherwise, this card gains 2 boost as the boost. Ugh. I don't want to say it's the first time. I mean, I'm sure there's one with Hydra and stuff, but this is the first time we've seen they didn't have any treacheries, really. It's just more minions, which for her deck you need. So here we go. Jigsaw, 1 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points. Criminal, quick strike, so he's going to attack immediately for 2 damage. Forced response, after Jigsaw attacks and damages a character, place 2 threat on the criminal underworld side scheme. So like I said, aggression not my style, but I like the character a lot, so I am looking forward to that. All right, that was long enough, but I wanted to go slower through those. We probably won't go through these as long just because we're just going to be popping through them as fast as we can. So we'll jump into just the first one I grabbed over here, which is the registration scenarios. So here we go. We got Iron Man here. Stage 1 leader, 1 scheme, 1 attack. Avenger, Iron Man gets +1 scheme for each tech attachment on him. So I'm assuming he's got a bunch of tech attachments in his deck to a maximum of +3 scheme. As a setup, the enemy team searches the encounter deck for an Iron Man attachment and your team reveals it. His stage 2, he gets an extra attack. Now he gains steady. And deal each player an encounter card. Iron Man cannot take damage this phase when revealed. Ugh. And then stage 3, ability is the same. The enemy team searches the encounter deck for an Iron Man attachment, and your team reveals it. All right. That's true. Yeah. It's weird that it says set up instead of when revealed, but maybe that has something to do. Oh, we got a stage 4 here. Oh, because probably you play. Yeah, okay. I get it. That's why it says setup. Yep. So just like the other one, gets plus attack, steady, and then cannot take damage. So it's whether you're playing, if you're playing in regular mode, you play with those two stages. You're playing expert, go here. All right, 1A here for his main scheme. It says to put 3 to 4 modular sets in here. That's true. I didn't think about the modular sets. Those are going to be probably the coolest thing I think in this. I always like seeing modular sets, but setup. In competitive mode, the enemy team finds the choosing side's side scheme and your team reveals it. In cooperative mode, find the chosen leader's side scheme and reveal it. And then cut off support, 7 threat per player. If there's more than 1 player on your team, this stage gains hinder 2 per player. Forced interrupt. When a player reveals a treachery, place 1 threat here, limit once per phase per player. Okay. And starts with 0 and gets +1 per player each turn. Our villain phase. Pro registration tactics, nothing big, so that one gets pulled off. You go to the negative zone prison. Reduce the target threat value of this scheme by 1 for each face down card under it. All right, so after an ally, force response, after an ally is defeated by an enemy attack, place that ally face down under this scheme. Basically saying screw those leadership decks. All right, so that's the main scheme. This is the one you'll lose if the game goes there, or if he gets enough threat on there. All right, here we go. Powered gauntlets. Armor text. So yeah, we said we'd see some text. So here we go. Attached to Iron Man, +1 attack. Iron Man's attacks gain ranged, so ignores your retaliates. Hero response. After you make a basic attack against Iron Man, spend energy and physical resources. Discard this card. As a boost, reveal this card. And it makes sense about the range because Captain America. Hence, they're going with the Civil War. Yep. Rocket boots. He gains aerial. Hero response. After you make a basic attack. Same thing. Get to discard it. It reveals. And +1 attack. Mark 5 helmet. Why am I just seeing the Iron Man deck just revealed in front of me, huh? Attach to Iron Man. Give him a tough status card. Iron Man gains stalwart. After you make a basic attack against Iron Man. Yep. Pay those to discard it. The Arc Reactor, attach to Iron Man and give him a tough status card. Iron Man gains retaliate 1, and then that's how you get rid of it. I mean, these change because normally I think these give hit points or heals, or defense. In this case, he don't have those, so hence they have to change those. Mark 5 armor, attached to Iron Man. When Iron Man force interrupt, when Iron Man would take any amount of damage, place it here instead. Then if there's at least 5 damage here, discard this card. All right, repulse. So all of them are just be, if they come up, they're gonna just attach to him. So he's gonna Iron Man 3 vibe, everything just going to you, and then you're gonna have to attach them also whenever you just start with Iron Man and against Iron Man and stuff. So yeah, just getting that Iron Man vibe. Here we go. As far as like the deck, repulsor blast, treachery. When revealed, alter ego form, discard an upgrade or support you control. Or in hero form, when revealed, discard the top 4 cards of your deck for each printed energy and wild resource. Discard this way, deal 1 damage to your hero. So just straight up damage. Supersonic punch, treachery when revealed. I'm just using the art. I know it's just silly, but I'm sure we're going to see something with Captain America. Supersonic punch, treachery when revealed, alter ego. Iron Man schemes. If he has a tech attachment, you are confused. When revealed, hero, Iron Man attacks you. If he has a tech attachment, this attack gains piercing. All right, then we see a scheme here, a side scheme, Stark Tower. When defeated, the enemy team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for an Iron Man attachment, and your team reveals it. Has extra encounter card and 3 threat per player. All right, his minions, which should be heroes, so here we go. Sure enough, Yellow Jacket, 2 scheme, 1 attack, Avenger, 4 hit points, toughness. When revealed, give the enemy leader a tough status card. Give the enemy leader a boost, give the enemy leader a tough status card. And here's Wasp. 1 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points, Aerial Avenger, Teamwork Avenger. When revealed, place 1 threat on the main scheme, and as a boost, place 1 threat on the main scheme. So I'm noticing a lot of these don't have a lot of the minions don't. They just It looks like this one's just going to do a lot of boost, which makes sense because they're a team that's working together, so they should, every card, just be boosting, and as far as the minions, should be boosting, as that's them helping Iron Man as a team. U.S. Agent, 1 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points, retaliate 1, toughness, when revealed, deal 1 damage to your identity. As a boost, deal 1 damage to your identity. No, U.S. Agent, you're one of my favorites. Why against Cap? Yeah. Mighty Avengers, Treachery, when revealed, resolve the when revealed ability of each minion in play. If no when revealed abilities were resolved this way, this card gains Surge. Earth's Mightiest Heroes, starts with 3 threat, hinder 1 threat per player. Each Avenger minion gains the printed keywords of each other Avenger minion. And then we have Doc Samson here. 2 scheme, 2 attack, 4 hit points, Avenger Gamma, Guard. When revealed, you are confused. If you are already confused, place 2 threat on the main scheme. Boost, you are confused. Hellcat, 1 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points, Avenger Quick Strike. When revealed, you are stunned. If you are already stunned, take 2 indirect damage. As a boost, you are stunned. Let's say these should have a lot of minions in the decks on both of these. Drafted, attached minion gets +2 hit points and gains the Avenger trait. When revealed in competitive mode, the enemy team attaches drafted to a minion engaged with them, and that minion engages you. Otherwise, discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded, reveal that minion, and attach drafted to it. Okay. And then we got another Mighty Avengers, which we already saw. The 50-state initiative. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized. I was like, why would they do that? Yeah, so the Iron Man deck, sorry. The Iron Man deck has 14 cards in it. So that's the Iron Man stuff, which we saw. So then the next 5 cards we saw were the Mighty Avengers. And it was those 3 that you get to add in. That's why it says 3 to 4, so which ones are you adding in? And now we're seeing the next one that says the initiative. So if you add the Mighty Avengers, you're adding them in. If you're adding the initiative in, you're getting these in there. Plus, this is their side scheme. And it says the 50-state initiative side scheme. 3 threat starts with, hinder 1 threat per player. And then when defeated, shuffle each Avenger minion in the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. And then it has Peril. Peril? No, it's not Peril. Crisis, right? My brain just went blank. I don't know why I'm blanking on that. But it makes it where you can't remove threat from the main scheme until you take care of this. Next, we have Maria Hill, 1 out of 5. So this is adding Maria Hill in. So I guess bringing shield into the equation. And here we got, if you want to mix these in, and you got Maria Hill minion, 2 scheme, 2 attack, 4 hit points. She is elite, shield, retaliate 2. When revealed, the enemy team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of Life Model Decoy and attaches it to Maria Hill. And here's Life Model Decoy. The enemy team attaches this card to a minion or their leader. Attached character gains Stalwart. Forced Interrupt. When attached character would take any amount of damage from an attack, prevent that damage and discard this card instead. And it's a tech. So we were talking about Captain America. This is beefs up his deck, and there's 2 of those. Executive Order, Treachery. When revealed, place 2 threat on each scheme. If Maria Hill's in play, this card gains Surge. As a boost, if Maria Hill's in play, this card has 3 boosts instead of just that. So, hope Maria Hill's not in play. And then the last card for Maria Hill is the Shield Helicarrier, which she brings with her. Starts with 3 threat, hinder 1 threat per player. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme deals 1 damage to each character they control and each minion engaged with them. Alright. Then we get the dangerous recruits that are going to join that side. So we got Venom off the bat here. 1 scheme, 3 attack, 4 hit points. Thunderbolt. Yep, makes sense as dangerous recruits. You're going to go into Thunderbolts. Oh, well, you wouldn't want to. I was about to say it's a Thunderbolt, so you get. No, yeah, you won't want to do that. He's weak. Venom's attacks gain piercing. I was thinking of this. Sorry, I should talk about what I was talking about. I was thinking of the whole scenario before this with Baron Zemo, and it's a Thunderbolt, but he don't have that many hit points, so you wouldn't really want to do this. But anyways, Venom's attacks gain piercing. When revealed, Venom attacks your leader. Otherwise, Venom activates against you. So I guess these are all modular sets, which is all cool, because you could always just throw in Dangerous Recruits. And leader would just be, yeah. Bullseye, Minion, 2 Scheme, 2 Attack, 3 hit points, Thunderbolt. When revealed, the enemy team discards an attachment from your leader. Otherwise, discard an upgrade you control. And they talk about how to change out all those. Justice like Lightning, Treachery. When revealed, each minion activates against the player it is engaged with. Otherwise, the enemy leader activates against you. Do not give it a boost card for this activation. Excessive Force, Treachery. When revealed, place 1 threat on the main scheme for each minion in play. Otherwise, this card gains Surge. As a boost, the enemy leader attacks your leader. Do not give it a boost card for that attack. And then the scheme for Dangerous Recruits. Side scheme, hinder 1, or starts with 3, just like the others. Hinder 1 per player. Forced Interrupt. When a minion is defeated, give it to the enemy leader as a face-down boost card. And then it has Acceleration. All right. Then we have the Cooperative Reference card. Let you know, if you're playing co-op, the leader in play is called the enemy leader. Text that refers to the villain applies to the enemy leader. So everything it says in the book, it just gives you all here as a reference card, so you don't have to keep pulling the book out. And then the other side has the competitive reference cards. All right, so that's if Iron Man. And then if you're going against the other villain, it's going to be Captain Marvel here. And we can see her stage 1 is 1 scheme, 2 attack. And Aerial Avenger setup. The enemy team finds Energy Channel and attaches it to Captain Marvel. As a forced response, after Captain Marvel attacks and defeats a character, place 1 energy counter on Energy Channel. And then her stage 2 gives her an extra scheme, gives her Steady. When revealed, deal each player an encounter card. Captain Marvel cannot take damage this phase. And the forced response stays the same. Alright, we got her stage 3 here. And just like we were talking about, this is probably going to be the expert mode. So the setup is the same thing. Go find Energy Channel, attach it to her. Otherwise, everything's the same, at least from her stage 2. And then, just like what happens with stage 1 to stage 2, stage 2, stage 3. Oh, actually, no, she gets +1 attack in this form. And then Steady. And then all this is the same. So, cool. We got the Superhero Registration Act. It says the same thing, 3 to 4 modules. So we're probably going to see 3 to 4 modules down in here. Oh my God. You can tell I'm way out of practice on this because I just realized what I forgot to do with Iron Man was talk about hit points. So his stage 1 is 12 to 16, and then in expert mode, stage 3 from 16 to 20. And Captain Marvel, stage 1 goes from 14 and then to 18, and then stage 3, which would be if you're playing an expert, I'm assuming, 18 to 22. And then lets us know there's going to be 8 registration cards here. So in competitive mode setup, the enemy team finds the choosing side scheme and your team reveals it. In cooperative mode, find the chosen leader's side scheme and reveal it. Then we flip this over. Same as with Iron Man, 7 per player to pull it off. If there's more than 1 player on your team, this stage gains hinder 2 or more, or 2 threat per player. When revealed, the enemy team searches the encounter deck for 1 minion per player and deals 1 to each player on your team as a face-down encounter card. And then if that one's pulled off, we go to Pro Registration Tactics. Iron Man doesn't do anything. I find it weird it's showing like the question marks here. Guess we'll find out about that. Oh, probably ways to change it, because I think I saw some others in there. But hunting rebel heroes. Each hero gains the unregistered trait. Forced response. After another card is revealed that gives 1 or more heroes the unregistered trait, deal 2 damage to each of those heroes. If this is completed, lose the game. And then, hey, look, we see Wonder Man, which we know is a deck coming out. All right. Here's the energy channel you have to go get. Permanent, attachment, force response. After leader, hero, or ally attacks Captain Marvel, place 1 energy counter here. Then if there's at least 4 energy counters here, remove all of them, and Captain Marvel attacks that character. This attack gains overkill. Getting Juggernaut vibes. Captain Marvel's helmet, +1 scheme. Attached to Captain Marvel gains Stalwart. Hero response, after you make a basic attack against Captain Marvel, spend 3 resources of the same type to discard this card. Man, that's rough. I mean, it's not amazing what it gives her, but it's rough to get rid of this, so hopefully you're not playing a stun deck or something. As a boost, reveal this card. Cosmic Flight, attached to Captain Marvel. Spider-Man, I don't know what I was going to say that. +1 attack. Forced Interrupt. When Captain Marvel would take more than 3 damage from an attack, reduce that amount to 3, then discard this card. Reveal this card. Photonic Blast. Treachery. When revealed, Alter Ego. Discard an ally or support you control. Ugh. When revealed, Hero. Captain Marvel attacks you. Place 1 energy counter on energy channel. I think I'd much rather be in hero form. That Alter Ego one is rough. And there's 2 of those. Crisis Interdiction Treachery. When revealed, Alter Ego, Captain Marvel schemes, place 1 energy counter on energy channel. When revealed, Hero, place 2 threat on each scheme. So yeah, I'm just getting that Juggernaut vibe with a little bit different. Energy Absorption. Treachery. When revealed, place 1 energy counter on energy channel. Heal 1 damage from Captain Marvel for each energy counter on energy channel. So at the most 4, because otherwise it would have triggered. And then boost. Place 1 energy counter on energy channel. Yeah, it just hit me. Because it also said registration on these 2. And then the rest were Iron Man. We're actually into Captain Marvel's cards, which we're going to see 14 of. Of course, I didn't catch that till now, so... Now we're seeing the 14th card, which is Alpha Flight Station. When defeated, place 3 energy counters on energy channel, gets 3 threat per player, and then has an additional boost icon. Now we're getting into, getting to the schemes. I'm definitely out of practice on this. Now we're getting into the little modular ones, and here we got Cape Killer. There's 5. Oh, I didn't realize that's a little off camera. Sorry. Cape Killer, which is got 5, just like in the others. So I'm assuming we're going to see 4 modules here with 5 cards each. So first one is Cape Killer, and right off the bat we have Cape Killer. 1 scheme, 2 attack, 4 hit points, shield, quick strike. As a forced interrupt, when Cape Killer attacks an identity with the unregistered trait, it gets +2 attack for this attack. And I'm assuming we're just going to see a bunch of these. Yep, Cape Killer. So I said bunch, 2 of them. And then we have unregistered super. Obligation, your identity gains the unregistered trait, which they would need because of that. Alter Ego action, discard an identity-specific card from your hand to discard this card, and it has acceleration. Bring them in. Treachery, when revealed, exhaust each unregistered identity. Otherwise, the enemy team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of unregistered super and deals it to you as a face-down encounter card. And then we get the side scheme, which is Arrest Order. Just like the others, 3, starts with 3, hinder 1. When defeated, the defeating player deals the topmost shield minion in the encounter discard pile to themselves as a face-down encounter card. So if you combine this with the Maria Hill, well, she didn't have other shield stuff though. Here we go, Shield Soldier, 1 scheme, 1 attack, 3 hit points, shield. When revealed, put the topmost shield minion in the encounter discard pile into play, engage with you. And then as a boost, put this minion in play, engage with you. And there's where we see 3 of the 5 cards, which are Shield Soldiers. And then we get a Rapid Response Treachery. When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck till a minion is discarded. If you are in Alter Ego form, place threat on the main scheme equal to that minion's scheme. In hero form, deal damage to your hero equal to that minion's attack. And then the side scheme. Typical 3, hinder 1. Each minion gains guard. So if you're playing Tigra, but then I saw some other things I didn't like. Heroes for Hire. We got Colleen Wing here. 1 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points. When revealed, choose an ally you control. The enemy team chooses instead if you have the unregistered trait, and then discard that ally. We got Shang-Chi here, 2 scheme, 2 attack, 4 hit points. When revealed, choose an upgrade you control. Discard that upgrade. And then unregistered super. So I'm assuming each of these is going to have an unregistered super. We've already seen that one. Bounty hunting. Treachery when revealed. Discard 1 card from your hand. At random if you have the unregistered trait. Place 1 threat on the main scheme for each resource icon on that card. And then we'll see the side scheme, which will be Heroes for Hire. 3 hinder 1. When defeated, the enemy team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of unregistered super and deals it to the defeating player as a face down encounter card. Extra encounter, so definitely get rid of this one. Then we start with Paladin. We got Paladin here, 2 scheme, 2 attack, 5 hit points. Here's an elite. Quick strike, toughness. When revealed, discard 1 card from your hand at random if you have the unregistered trait. Then we have Paladin's Pistol as an attachment weapon, plus 2 attack. Ugh. Attached to Paladin, otherwise attached to the enemy leader. Ugh. Forced interrupt. When attached character attacks, this attack gains range. Then overkill, discard this card after this attack. And then we already saw Bounty Hunting, because it's Heroes for Hire. And then we got Government Contractor. 3, hinder 1. Each identity gains the unregistered trait. Definitely got to get that taken out. Otherwise, those unregistereds just pile on with this out there. And then has the acceleration. All right. And now we're seeing those registrations. And now it makes more sense why. Because I'm betting these are all going to be different. Yeah, in competitive mode, the enemy team finds the choosing side scheme. And your team reveals it. In cooperative mode, find the chosen leader's side scheme revealed. So the same. But I'm assuming these backs are different. And it's so that you can do the random or the setup. So I kind of like that. Adds more replayability for sure. If there's more than 1 player on your team, this stage gains hinder 2. Each minion gains guard. And then I'm assuming this 1A, yeah, so the 1As are all the same. It's just as far as the back. It's the front that is different. If there's more than 1 player in your team, this stage gains hinder 2. And then forced response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player discards the top 3 cards of their deck. Because we got public outrage. And then these are the 2. So that's why we just said 8. Because I'm assuming there's 4 different stage 1s and 4 different stage 2s. And you don't know which one you're hitting each time and which way the war is escalating to. So I kind of like that. And if they do something with Captain America, that does put the more replayability into this. So see how they made it different without it being the same stuff and getting some randomness to it. So the backs don't do anything. And then we just go to the initiative. When revealed, the enemy team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for 1 side scheme per player and deals 1 to each player on your team as a face down encounter card. And then of course this is pulled off, you lose. And then no going back. Allies interplay exhausted. Boo. All right. Says standard PvP, so I'm assuming if you're doing PvP, yeah, goes in there. Righteous Cause, Treachery. When revealed, the enemy leader schemes. If there's more than 1 player on your team, give the enemy leader an additional boost card for this activation. Whatever it takes, Treachery. When revealed, Alter Ego, the enemy leader attacks your leader. When revealed, Hero, the enemy leader attacks you. And then Targeted Strike, Treachery. When revealed, the enemy team searches the top 5 cards of the encounter deck for a card and deals it to you as a face-down encounter card. As a boost, this card gains 1 boost for each player on your team. And there's 2 of those. And then we get the standard PvP side scheme, which is a permanent. The enemy leader cannot take more than 2 damage from each attack. Force response. After the last threat is removed from here, the enemy team searches the top 5 cards of the encounter deck for 1 encounter card per player card and deals 1 to each player as a face down encounter card. Flip this card. Oh, said flip this card. All right. Now it's personal. Obligation. Give it to the first player. as an action, remove this card from the game. Each player on your team chooses 2 of your leaders' set-aside player cards and adds them to your hand. Okay. Interesting. Because I was wondering, it said permanent. I was like, well, so shouldn't this... But I see what happens here. You're able to pull that off. All right, we got some basics here. Iron Man the Futurist event. As an action, your Iron Man leader schemes. Do not give him a boost card for this activation. Target lock, 2-cost event. As an action, your Iron Man leader attacks the enemy leader. If you spent a mental resource to pay for this event, choose an attachment on the enemy leader with the text hero response or hero interrupt and discard it. So I'm assuming, because he's got the blue back, I'm assuming these are cards you could just add into your deck. 1-cost upgrade, high-tech suit. I mean, it says Iron Man, though, so I'm assuming they're going to go in the Iron Man deck. 1-cost upgrade, high-tech suit, attached to your Iron Man leader. Counts as a tech attachment. Hero action, spend energy and mental resource. Discard this card. Any player may trigger this ability. As an acceleration. Then we have suit up resource, hero response. After you spend this resource, give your Iron Man leader a tough status card. So I'm assuming you can add these in if Iron Man's your leader is what I was saying. And then this is ones you can add in if Captain Marvel is your leader. 0-cost upgrade, provoked response, forced interrupt. When the enemy leader would attack you, it attacks your Captain Marvel leader instead. She cannot take more than 3 damage from this attack. Discard this card. You started this 2-cost event. As an action, your Captain Marvel leader attacks the enemy leader. If you spent a energy resource to pay for this event, confuse the enemy leader. And then we have Alpha Flight Recruit, 0-cost upgrade. Title attached to an ally as a response after any number of energy counters are placed on your Captain Marvel leader's energy channel attachment. Heal 1 damage from attached ally. And then the resources like with the other one. Raw Power, hero response. After you spend this resource, place 2 energy counters on your Captain Marvel leader's energy channel attachment. And before we get into Captain America, I'll just jump real quick to see about those, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's saying. Oh, it says here, you're going to earn those during the competitive game. You earn those cards, add them to your deck. And it says here, it's going to have to do with the choosing sides side scheme. When you defeat them, you earn 2 of them. And then it's in your deck for the rest of the game. So that's pretty cool. All right, I know this video is long, so I'm trying to plug through it as fast as possible, but I want to be able to show you each card and give you the reaction to how I feel about them. And then, of course, when we play through the solo, I will go back through these again and see if my view on them changes. Let's go. I want to be on his side. I love Cap. All right, here we go. Captain America, 1 scheme, 2 attack. As an Avenger, set up. The enemy team finds Cap's shield and attaches it to Captain America. As a forced response, after Cap's shield is attached to Captain America, give him a tough status card. And then his second gives him an extra scheme, gives him steady. And when revealed, deal each player an encounter card. Captain America cannot take damage this phase. So what we've seen on the others. And then after Cat, same thing. Forced response is the same. Then stage 3. Looks all the same from this with the same setup and the same force response from stage 1. And then we get an additional attack. So kind of uniform what we're seeing with all the others. And then, yeah, we're seeing the same thing from Resistance here. So, I mean, you'll see 4 different 1s and 4 different 2s. But here we go. Yeah, and then the same thing. In competitive mode, the enemy finds the choosing. Yeah. Then we talk about the choosing sides, so that makes sense because if you beat that choosing sides one, then now you get to go get the basics, which we'll see at the bottom of this. So, yeah, so let's just go through this. It's always going to be, the stage 1s are always going to be 7 threat on there per player to pull it off, and the 2 is always going to be 9 threat per player. Everything else always looks the same, 0 start, +1 threat acceleration. And so we'll always just read this first part. And here it says, if there's more than 1 player on your team, this stage gains Hinder 2. When revealed, the enemy team searches the encounter deck for 1 minion per player and deals 1 to each player on your team as a face-down encounter card. I want to say it's almost the same. So, which, that's not what I was saying. It was like, if you're going to have these, they have to be the same. Otherwise, if you're going to do a competitive, I was thinking you would have to have the same minion or the same enemy for the most part, because otherwise some enemies are easier for you to defeat than others. But I can also see it both ways, because it's like, well, yeah, it's going to be, if you're building your decks right anyways, like if you're just building your deck to handle anything, it's just sometimes you're going to have it harder. But that's a long digression, and we'll talk about it more during the solo plays. But second scheme here, Secret Avengers. The enemy leader gets +1 attack while attacking, +2 attack instead if the attack is undefended. And then if they pull this scheme off, they win the game. All right, here's Cap's Shield that you get to go get. Probably again, like I said, just like we saw with Captain America or with Iron Man and Captain Marvel, we're probably going to see a lot of these same things from the decks for those characters, which will be interesting with Spider-Woman. I want to see how that goes. But Cap Shield, ooh, that means there'll be a lot of stuns and confuses. Sorry. Cap Shield, permanent, attached to Captain America. Attached character gains Retaliate 1, and attacks against them lose Piercing. Forced response after a hero or the Captain America leader uses their attack to attack and damage attached character, attach Cap's shield to the attacker. Cap's helmet gives him stalwart, +1 scheme. After you make a basic attack as a hero response against Captain America, spend 3 resources of the same type to discard this card. So we already seen this. So a lot of the same stuff. Here's the serum. Usually gives you resources. What does it do in this case? +2 attack. Ooh. When Captain America attacks, this attack gains overkill. At the end of the attack, discard this card. So he's got 2 of those. Makes sense. His serum. Shield block, one of my favorite cards in the Cap deck. When revealed, a Cap shield is attached to Captain America. Give him a tough status card and face down boost card. Otherwise, attach Cap's shield to him and give him a face down boost card. Shield toss, another good card in Cap's deck. When revealed, alter ego, Captain America schemes. When revealed, hero. If Cap's shield is attached to Captain America, deal 2 damage to each character you control. Otherwise, attach Cap's shield to Captain America. Ugh. Yep, screw your leadership deck. Hero Strike, Treachery. When revealed, alter ego, discard an ally or upgrade you control. When revealed, hero, Captain America attacks you. If this attack damages a character, stun that character. And it's 14, I should have mentioned. It's 14. I get carried away because I just want to look at these cards and get excited and forget about it. This is the last card, of course, as I catch that. Fearless Determination, side scheme. When defeated, attach Cap's shield to Captain America. He activates against the player who defeated this scheme. And an additional boost. All right, let's go ahead and see these modulars. So we're going to see 20 cards here. 4 different modular. Here we go. Falcon, makes sense. 2 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points. Aerial Avenger, Teamwork Avenger. When defeated, give this card to the enemy leader as a face-down boost card. Which is going to be this, which is the boost. You are confused. If you were already confused, this card gains 2 boost. Hercules, 1 scheme, 3 attack, 4 hit points. Avenger, Teamwork Avenger. When defeated, give this card to the enemy leader as a face-down boost card, and it does the same thing for the boost. Goliath, 1 scheme, 2 attack, 5 hit points. Avenger Giant, Teamwork Avenger. When defeated, give this card to the enemy leader as a face-down boost card. Give the enemy leader a tough status card. So this one's different. Oh, this one's stunned. Actually, I didn't even notice that. I'm sorry. Falcon confuses. This one stuns, and now this one gives a tough status card. And if they're already tough, this card gains 2. Freedom Fighter's Treachery. When revealed, resolve the boost ability of each minion in play. If no boost abilities were resolved this way, this card gains Surge. As a boost, resolve the boost ability of each minion engaged with you. Ugh. Going against this doesn't sound fun. Especially with Tigra. New Avengers, side scheme. Typical 3, hinder 1. When defeated, shuffle each minion in the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. And then additional boost. Or not boost, additional encounter icon. All right, Black Panther here. This is the Secret Avengers modular. 2 scheme, 2 attack, 4 hit points. Avenger, Teamwork Avenger. And I know I didn't mention teamwork because I figured people might know, but just in case you don't know, what teamwork means is if this comes out, it activates all the other teamwork. In this case, Teamwork Avengers. So this can get dangerous. When defeated, yeah, I didn't mean to sound like a Darkwing Duck there. When defeated, give this card to the enemy leader as a face-down boost card. As a boost, exhaust each upgrade you control. Shutting down the protection deck over there. Spectrum, 2 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points, Aerial Avenger, Teamwork Avenger. When defeated, give this card to the enemy leader as a face-down boost card. As a boost, exhaust a character you control. We've already seen Freedom Fighters, so having that another one of those in there seems good. Switching sides seems good if they're your leader. Seems bad if you're going against it. So, switching sides, Treachery. When revealed, discard an ally you control. In competitive mode, any player on the enemy team may spend resources equal to that ally's cost to put it into play under their control. If no ally left play this way, this card gains Surge. So it's just going to get rid of an ally if it's normal, but yeah, I do not like it. I don't want it played against me. Go away. Secret Adventures Side Scheme. 3, hinder 1. When defeated, the enemy team searches the top 5 cards of the encounter deck for a card. Give that card to the enemy leader as a face-down boost card. And I'm pretty sure I said it right earlier, Crisis. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. I don't know why I was saying Peril. But, oh, because, yeah, I know why I said Peril. Duh. All right. Namor. I mean, it's the Namor sides modular set. And here we got Namor. 1 scheme, 1 attack, 6 hit points. And he is an elite Atlantis. Stalwart, toughness, villainous. When revealed, Namor activates against you. Man, I mean, it's given Namor justice. So many times, like in video games and stuff, he's just so weak. That's Namor, buddy. Here we go. Neptune's Trident, +1 attack. Attached to Namor, otherwise attached to the enemy leader. Attached character attacks upon... Oh my goodness. Attached characters' attacks gain piercing. As a hero action, spend the energy and physical, like we've been seeing, resource to discard this. So you got to use the energy to go over there and physically take it away from them. Horn of Proteus. +1 scheme, attached to Namor, otherwise to the enemy leader. As a forced interrupt, when attached character schemes, give it a tough status card. As a hero action, spend a mental and physical resource to discard this card. So that's the first one that said mental and physical. Got to outsmart them. Makes sense. Or mentally be able to go against the Horn. Imperious Rex. Treachery. When revealed, if Namor is in play, he activates against you. Otherwise, the enemy leader activates against you. As a boost, give the activating enemy an additional boost card. And then his side scheme is Ruler of Atlantis. 3, hinder 1. Each Atlantis minion cannot take damage. And it gets an additional boost icon. And then now we're seeing the Atlanteans. So with this. Atlantean Guard, minion, 1 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points. We saw this with the shield stuff in the other deck. It's got Guard. When revealed, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. And I'm assuming we're going to see at least 2 of these. 3 of them. Okay. Atlanteans, Treachery. When revealed, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If you are in Alter Ego form, place 1 threat on the main scheme for each different card type discarded this way. If you're in Hero form, take 1 indirect damage for each different card type discarded this way. And then the side scheme is Atlantis Attacks. 3, hinder 1. When revealed, discard the top 1 card per player of your deck. Place 1 acceleration token here for each different card type discarded this way. Ooh. So yeah, flowing through that deck, so you have to hit more encounters. And then we see the cooperative reference card and the competitive reference card, just so that we can have that for our side. All right, this is what I want to kind of see, because I just barely built this deck. I haven't even tested it. Curious to see. I'm assuming Stunning, Confused, Lockdown, but here we go. Stage 1, setup. The enemy team finds Finesse and attaches it to Spider-Woman. As a forced interrupt, when Spider-Woman attacks, she gets +1 attack for each skill counter on Finesse for this attack. Remove each skill counter from Finesse. Oh, yeah. I was thinking Stun. I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to have Stun and Confused, Lockdown, but should have thought about what her ability is, which her ability is the more aspect card, different aspect cards you play, the more pluses she gets. So hence what she's going to do here. So that makes more sense. Here she gets +1 scheme, which we've seen in the others. The steady, which we've seen in the others. When revealed, do each player an encounter card, and she cannot take damage. And then her ability stays the same. And then we see the same here. Just different stats. Yep, all's the same. 13 to 17 on the hit points. This is 17 to 21. And I realized I did not go through cap. Ugh. Like I said, so out of practice on this. I really need to get my channel up and going. And I apologize, I'm just digging for cards. That's the only reason I'm talking here. For cap, we go 14 to 18. And then for the other one, 18 to 22. I do need to get more into practice on this. All right, we already know. We saw this. The one is going to be all the same on the back. This is going to be different on the front. Keeps everything the same on all this, except for if there is more than one player on your team, this stage gains Hinder 2. As a force to interrupt, when a player reveals a treachery, place 1 threat here. Limit once per phase per player. And then the 2 we're seeing here is Neighborhood Protectors. When revealed, I didn't say it, Open Rebellion, but this other one's Neighborhood Protectors. And then when revealed, the enemy team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for 1 side scheme per player and deals 1 to each player on your team as a face down encounter card. So we've seen this with the other one. And if this stage is completed, the player loses the game. And like I said, same artworks. Here's the Finesse card. Permanent, max 3 skill counters here. As a force to interrupt, when a treachery is revealed, place 1 skill counter here, which is giving her more pluses. So, ugh. And this is that back. I noticed it on the other ones. I guess because it showed it. And it's because this should never be in the deck. So it's giving you this different. So I'll probably put a different sleeve on this. But it's so that you know this doesn't go in the deck ever. And it's because of the setup and what's going to happen there. But here we go. Contaminant immunity, +1 scheme. Oh, I didn't think about that since she does all the stuns and confuses. Instead of doing stuns and confused lockdowns, it's probably going to make her immune to them. Attached to Spider-Woman, forced to interrupt. When Spider-Woman would be stunned or confused, discard this card instead. Give her a tough status card. So she's just protecting against those. And then as a boost, reveal this card. And then we see 2 of those. Here's the pheromones. Yep. So when revealed, you are stunned and confused. Place 1 skill counter on Finesse. As a boost, you are stunned. Otherwise, you are confused. Yep, her pheromones. And Venom Blast, which is probably going to be pretty, ugh. Treachery, when revealed. Alter Ego, this card gains Surge. When in hero form, Spider-Woman attacks you. If this attack, remove the following skin counters from Finesse. If there's at least 1. This attack gains range if there's at least 2. This attack gains piercing if there's at least 3. This attack gains overkill. Sorry, I was rereading that to make sure I read it right. Yep. Inconspicuous. When revealed, choose. Discard the highest cost card from your control or Spider-Woman schemes. Most likely I would just let her scheme, but if you're in the wrong spot for that, then you're going to have, especially if you're confused, yep, you're going to have to just discard the highest cost card you control, which sucks. As a boost, this card gains +1 boost for each status card on your identity. And we got 2 of those. And the typical 14 is what we're going to. And of course, I always remember as we're revealing the 14th card. Self-propelled glide. This is 3 threat on there per player. Forced to interrupt. When Spider-Woman would take damage from an attack, reduce the amount of damage she takes by 1 for each skill counter on Finesse. And then acceleration. All right, let's go see these modulars. Should be 20 of them. Same I talked before. 4 modulars, 20 cards, 4 split up into 4 modulars, 5 cards per. And here we have Spider-Man. And the Spider-Man modular, and then Spider-Man himself. 2 scheme, 2 attack, 4 hit points. Avenger, and he is elite. When revealed, Spider-Man attacks each character with Tangled Up attached. If no attack was made this way, the enemy team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of Tangled Up and gives it to you as a face-down encounter card. So it looks like with these other side, with here we saw a lot more minions. Here we're seeing more elite minions, which makes sense with Cap. Because, yeah, I was about to say this should just be the only minion in here. And then we see Tangled Ups, which are an attachment attached to your leader, otherwise attached to your hero. As a force to interrupt, when attached, character would scheme, thwart, or attack. Discard this card instead. As a boost, if the Spider-Man minion is in play, reveal this card. And then there's another Tangled Up. Spectacular. As a treachery, when revealed, place 2 threat on the main scheme. In competitive mode, remove 2 threat from your leader's main scheme. And then his side scheme is Neighborhood Hero. When revealed in competitive mode, move 2 threat from your leader's main scheme to this scheme. Otherwise, place 2 threat on here per player. Has the boost, and it has 2. So this side scheme is different from all the other side schemes we've been seeing. And I was about to say, let's see, is Luke Cage... No, this is Defender. So I'm about to say, so if it's named them, then it makes them elite. If not, then we're going to see some Defenders here. Doctor Strange, I'm assuming. So the Defenders, and we got Luke Cage here. 1 scheme, 2 attack, 4 hit points. When revealed, stun your leader, otherwise you are stunned. And then as a boost, stun your leader, otherwise you are stunned. And then we should see, I said Doctor Strange, but really Iron Fist. And Jessica Jones. I just always forget about her. Because when I read the Defender comics, I didn't see that much of Jessica Jones. She was more of a side character. But anyways, Jessica Jones here. 2 scheme, 1 attack, 3 hit points, Defender. When revealed, confuse your leader, otherwise you are confused. And as a boost, confuse your leader, otherwise you are confused. The other side of him makes sense. And I get what they're going. They're going with the TV show, but really the game always followed more of the comics. So that's the reason it just threw me off. Protect the innocent. Treachery. When revealed, give the enemy leader and each minion a tough status card. If the enemy leader was already tough, this card gains Surge. Street Defenders. I guess maybe we're going to see Iron Fist over here later. When revealed, each minion activates against the player it is engaged with. Otherwise, the enemy leader activates against you. Do not give it a boost card for this activation. And Daredevil. I didn't think about Daredevil. Oh, as I say that. The Defender's side scheme. This one is just like the others. 3, hinder 1. Each minion gains guard. And then we got Daredevil here. Hell's Kitchen is the side scheme, or the modular. So maybe this is where Iron Fist is at. So Daredevil, Defender. When revealed, the enemy team exhausts the character you control. He's 2 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points. As a boost, exhaust the character you control. Yep. And then here's Iron Fist, one of the best protection allies I love. But here we go. 1 scheme, 3 attack, 4 hit points. So he should act like that, right? When revealed, Iron Fist attacks your leader. Otherwise, Iron Fist attacks against you. Activates against you. As a boost, the enemy leader attacks your leader. After this activation, do not give it a boost card for this attack. We have Resistance Fighter here. +1 scheme, +1 attack. Attached to a minion of the enemy team's choice. Otherwise, this card gains Surge. And then attach this card to a minion engaged with you. And then Street Defenders we already saw. Defend Hell's Kitchen. Side scheme, 3-1, hinder 1. Threat cannot be removed from this scheme while a Defender minion is in play. And then additional encounter card. All right, we got Cloak here. Minion, 2 scheme, 1 attack, 4 hit points. When revealed, place 2 threat on a scheme. In the competitive mode, remove 2 threat from your leader's main scheme. As a boost, if Dagger is in play, reveal Cloak. Otherwise, place 1 threat on a scheme. I was about to say Cloak and Dagger should be right here. Yep. And 1 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points. When revealed, heal 2 damage from the enemy leader. Deal 2 damage to a character you control. As a boost, if Cloak is in play, reveal Dagger. And otherwise, deal 1 damage to a character you control. Then we got the Dark Force attachment. +1 scheme, attach to the enemy leader and give them a tough status card. As a forced response, after attached leader schemes and places threat on the main scheme, remove an equal amount of threat from your leader's main scheme and discard this card. That's Dark Force. We have the Light Force. For treachery, when revealed, heal 3 damage from the enemy leader. Take 3 indirect damage. And I haven't been calling out the boosts there because I figure you could see them here. We have Cloak and Dagger the side scheme here. And it is a 3 hinder 1. When defeated, heal 3 damage from the enemy leader and give them a tough status card with the crisis icon. Alright, we see the other ones here that can randomly be in there. If there's more than 1 player on your team, this stage gains hinder 2. Each minion gains guard. And then the last of the ones, going underground. If there's more than 1 player on your team, this stage gains hinder 2. The enemy leader gains steady. Alright, now we're going to the 2s. And we have Forced Response, Guerrilla Warfare. After a status card is placed on an enemy leader, place 1 threat here. And of course, if that's pulled off, the players lose the game. And then we have Superhero Jailbreak. Oh man, that sounds cool. As a forced response, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player discards the top card of the encounter deck. Each player who discards a minion this way puts it into play engaged with them. Yeah, if this stage is completed, the players lose the game. Alright, standard PvP cards. We're going to see 5 of them. Here's the Righteous Cause, the enemy leader. When revealed, the enemy leader schemes. If there's more than 1 player on your team, give the enemy leader an additional boost card for this activation. One of these are going to be the same. So the next one should be, yep, whatever it takes. So that we've seen these. Targeted Strike. We saw these with the other one. And then the Choosing Sides thing, which we talked about. And now it's Personal, which is all the same. I just geeked out a little bit seeing this card. Okay. Because everyone knows, if you know, you know, the line that's in Civil War from Captain America to Spider-Man, and here it is. 0 cost upgrade, no you move. Forced interrupt. When the enemy leader would attack you, attach Cap's shield to your Captain America leader and resolve this attack against him instead. Discard this card. I'd probably geek out a little bit and take that card whether I needed it or not. But let's see what the others do. 2 cost event, Fighting Dirty. As an action, your Captain America leader attacks the enemy leader. If you spent a physical resource to pay for this event, stun the enemy leader. That one's pretty good. Recruited by Cap. 3 cost event. As an action, choose a minion engaged with you and choose a player on the enemy team. That minion engages that player. Yeah, I like that one too. I probably wouldn't take the resource one, but I mean, if I need resources for that deck, I guess would depend on what deck is. The People's Hero. Hero response. After you spend this resource, give your Captain America leader a face down boost card. Alright, now we see Spider-Woman's Double Agent. 2 cost event, Double Agent. As an action, remove 2 threat from the main scheme. Place 2 threat on your leader's main scheme. Spider Blast. 2 cost event. As an action, your Spider-Woman leader attacks the enemy leader. If you spent a mental resource to pay for this event, confuse the enemy leader. And then 1 cost upgrade, Hard to Hit. As a skill, attached to your Spider-Woman leader and give her a tough status card. As a forced response, after attached Spider-Woman resolves an attack, place 2 skill counters on her finesse attachment. Discard this card. These are pretty good, actually. As a secret contact, hero response. After you spend this resource, place 2 skill counters on your Spider-Woman leader's finesse attachment. Alright, I know that's a long one. I'll try to cut out as much as I can. Yeah, I'll try to figure out how I'm going to do this, because typically, like I said, I do it against the first encounter, but I can't really do that with the solo plays when I go through these characters. So I'll probably just do a random, roll a d4 or something, and figure out which one they're going to go against. What I'll probably do is do a random on one of these, and if they do the registration, then the other one I'll just do a random one, like flip a coin for 1 or 2 and have them go against it. Or should I just, for these, I'll probably just have them go against the leaders. Much as Spider-Woman, Captain Marvel would be fun to go against, I might just do, for this first one, Cap and Iron Man. And really, I might just do that all the time now to think of it. What I might change up more random is the modulars. I probably won't change them for these first ones, but for the future ones, I might just do the random modulars. But then again, I kind of want to keep the shields together and the defenders together because those would work better. Like, it seemed like that's the reason they put those together. You don't have to, but that might give a better feel on how good these decks really are because they're going up against that actual scenario. So, like I said, I'll give it some thought, and that'll definitely be the solo, and I'll try to get those out as soon as possible. I always try to get them out before these release, which I guess I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video, but this actually is not available. But go to your LGS. As I'm making this video, this is not available. This is just me opening these up so you can see if it's something you want to add in or so you can see what you want for this. But do go check out your local game store. It should be available on the 17th of October, 2025. And that's when it will be available. And I think the next thing's coming out. There's a scenario packs, Schizoid something. Escapes my memory right now. I'll try to get the name of it right before I do the solo plays. But I'll also just throw the picture of it up right here so you can see it. But it's basically, yeah, more added to the Civil War, which is why they're probably throwing that scenario pack out there, because I'm also assuming it's going to add some more modulars that you could throw into the Civil War for the more competitive. And I do expect, as much as I was saying I don't want to see the cards go more competitive, I just mean, I get it. For this scenario and for this campaign thing that they do before they release the next big campaign, yeah, this should all be about PvP, and this one should be all about that and go into that. I just don't want to see the individual cards go more into the competitive nature. But no, I like the idea of this, especially for the Civil War. It makes more sense to go PvP. Otherwise, what are you doing at this point? But I like that they kept it cooperative, and that's cool. So, and I know I'm just kind of jibber-jabbering right now, but it's just kind of getting those thoughts out there, because this is definitely, and already just looking at these decks, as much like I said, yeah, this is the character I'm looking forward to wanting to see, and I was looking forward to wanting to see him play, but this feels more like my style. We'll see if that's any different, because also, I mean, I do like aggression when it works, and when you're just melting characters, so we'll see where that goes. And then, of course, we got Wonder Man coming out, and I'll figure out how I'm going to, like I said, do all those. But can't really think of anything else, so I'll just let you go here because I know this video is already long enough. So I am working on getting this more and trying to figure out other setups to where I can play with other people. Especially this would be really cool, and I'll see if I won't be able to do it. It'd be too short of notice to be able to do it with these unchanged. But I do want to try to get another player on here. It's just figuring out how I want to do the setup. Like, do I want to have the switch back and forth so I'd have an extra camera, like, for each of our player areas and then for the villain area. So, yeah, I got to figure out how to set all that up. And once I get that all figured out and set up, which I've already got an idea of how I'm going to do it, then we will see it. For sure. I do want to try, especially with this. This would be better to be doing a competitive than just showing y'all the solo things. But it's just too short of notice for me right now to be able to do that. So I'm just going to try to get these solos out there. But anyways, thank you for watching and have a great day.